That would be good.
Okay, folks, it's noon here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and in Michigan. And
Hmm.
this is news that you can use from CarEdge. And I'll get the date correct and the month correct today for Wednesday, June 7th, 2023. Zach is traveling today, so Phil has graciously agreed to sit in and help out
Hello.
today. So let's all
Yes,
welcome Phil to the show. Phil, how the heck are you today?
I am awesome. However, I am starting to see that everyone is talking about our clickbaity title here.
It it's not clickbaity today, okay? It really isn't. And the reason I say that is, I'll share my screen and I'll start with something that I think takes us down a path that for most of us we haven't given this enough thought yet. So let me
Hmm.
share my screen to see. Let's see if I can remember how to do this nonsense.
You
Um,
should be very proficient at this, right?
I
Right?
should, but I'm not. Okay. So here was the headline story that I saw on automotive news that caught my attention this morning.
Yeah.
Digital car keys raise security concerns. Mobile phone based automotive digital keys are the future of the software defined car. However, automotive security experts are still determining if digital keys are as secure as the industry claims. Now,
Yes. Yes.
I'm
However, we can't see it though, right?
yes, well, I'm going to help them with this. They're not. Okay? If
What?
if and the reason I say they're not is if every type of really cyber secure
Yeah.
websites and databases get hacked multiple times a year, okay, why would we think that what they put in cars won't be hacked?
Well, correct. So let me ask you something. Maybe did your laptop get hacked because we can't see your screen?
Oh, really? Well, what's this nonsense that's not working then? So, where do I go back to? Oh, I guess I have to hit that,
There
and
you go.
then I have to. Now, can you see it?
We got it. We got it.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I was right there. I was hacked. See that?
You were.
Oh, wait, that was my own personal ineptitude. So I apologize for that. But truly, Phil, I mean, if huge databases are getting hacked probably on a daily basis, why I mean, why would automobile manufacturers think that it won't happen with their digital keys and all the software in their cars?
I think that they're just not putting the focus on it. I don't I they so where do you have the vulnerabilities in this, right? So number one, you've got the vulnerability on the server side that stores all the information, right?
Okay,
So
yes,
that's number one. Number two, when you use your phone to unlock the car, it's usually using two different types of technology, depending on which ones that they're using. They use near field communication, or they use Bluetooth.
okay,
Um, so it really just depends on how far they take the encryption from the phone to the network that's already inside of the vehicle. Now, in the way that I look at this, the auto manufacturers really need to step up their encryption and how they handle this data transfer. Um, it with Bluetooth, they're using less of a standard. They use AES, which is a 128 bit key encryption, whereas that's not even as robust as what you use on your normal Wi-Fi systems
wow,
at your house. Um, so they really need to step it up. They really need to put the R&D into developing a more secure and robust system. And you know, have I know a lot of these companies such as Apple. They have hackers that they hire
yes.
to go in and do their worst, try to break the system and provide the company with feedback. These folks need to do more research on that. They really need to get involved in it because this is where the future's at.
And according to the article, there is a consortium of hackers and a group of manufacturers and others who are underwriting this. I mean, I if I were to have children today, I would instill in them that when you get older, dad would like you to become a hacker. Just to get paid to be able to show um,
Yeah,
people what they think is secure isn't. And I don't want to relate this to Hollywood and Hollywood movies, but how many movies have we seen, where there's that nerdy guy and well that son of a gun, he can hack into anything. Okay.
hmm
Now I get that part of that's fantasy, and part of that is it's Hollywood, but the reality of the situation is it's mostly true.
it
There
is.
are there are people that can. There are people who do. And a lot of the people who do are not doing it for positive reasons. They
hmm
are doing it with criminal intent in mind. Um,
Absolutely.
so as we get more and deeper into the digital age as it is today, it seems to
hmm
me, between home computers, cell phones, cars, which are computers on wheels,
hmm
marrying all that technology together, uh, just leaves us more vulnerable uh, than we've ever really given thought to.
Yes, yes, and it's really twofold. One, uh, it's how that data connects to the company, right? So to those to the servers,
Yes,
how they maintain the security for that, and how they maintain the protocols in which that data is transferred. That needs to be secure. That needs to be there. Um, that is first and foremost.
I would find it hard to believe that if somebody wanted to hack into my smartphone or your smartphone, um, not that they would find much on mine, um, because I'm not that technologically savvy, but they would find enough information that could be compromising as far as um, logins and passwords and bank account information and things like that, credit card
hmm
information. I mean, all that stuff. Whether it's your Google Pay or your Apple Pay or your Samsung, whatever, it's all stored on your phone.
It
It
is.
it really it doesn't take much for people with bad intentions to be able to breach what we as a society take for granted is well protected, because it's probably not.
Most people take, or I guess feel that they are secure with their data being on their phone. Now we've got two different operating systems out there that are running phone systems, right? We've got Android and we've got iOS.
Yes.
Now, iOS is a lot more secure in many ways compared to Android. Android
Yes.
is an open operating system. It leaves a lot more vulnerabilities, a lot more ability to hack, if you want to call it that. Um, I think that the Android system needs to get well. I'll go back. The the way that the data transmits between Android and the parent company or the OEM, they need to have protocols in place within their application that uses that and transmits that data. Um, Android just overall just needs to get more secure.
Let me ask you a question, and for those people who don't know, you're actually in the computer business, are you not?
I was for a short period of time.
Yes. So you have some real working knowledge about this,
Correct.
where I um I'm not a computer hacker. I'm just a hack when it comes to understanding,
Yep.
all the technology involved here. But correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Android by far the most popular operating system, at least for cell phones, in the world today?
Yes, but it's at the price. You got to think about the price point that you can acquire that, right? So, um, while iOS is making more headway in market share,
Uh-huh.
a lot quicker now, but Android has been the way to. It's on more affordable phones, right? So phones that there's just more volume of those phones out there being made. Many different manufacturers can come up and make a phone and
Mhm.
use an Android operating system. So there's much more in selection for folks to be able to get a phone and have the Android operating system. So there's more out there.
Do you I don't wanna color this by telling you what I think. Do you think going away with keys per se and allowing somebody to use a smartphone as a key in order to open up and start their automobile makes that car less secure and less vulnerable to potential theft? Um, I mean, if you think of it this way, if you're at a restaurant having dinner and a cocktail, and me, my phone is is uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable when my phone is in my back pants pocket. I
Hmm.
just, because I feel like I'm sitting on a phone and, I might as well just sit on a brick. So I always leave my phone on the table. Now there's the possibility, it hasn't happened yet, but there's the possibility that I've had one too many and I just accidentally leave the restaurant and leave my phone on the table.
Hmm.
Okay. And I decide to, just wander around the mall or somewhere for a while till I'm sober enough to drive. Well,
Hmm.
meanwhile, while I'm doing that, somebody could have found my phone, figured out how to get in it, and gone out and stolen my car because they got
Correct.
my phone.
Correct. so
How
so it
I mean,
starts.
if I
So
have the
part
key in my pocket, it's a lot harder, isn't it? If I have a physical
Absolutely.
key or a fob.
Absolutely. And a lot of this comes down to the responsibility of the end user, because they're through the time through the years of me working with folks and cell phones, more than not, people don't have a password on their phone, and if they do, it's something as like 1 2 3 4 5
Mhm.
or 1 1 1 1 1 or all zeros or something like that. More than not, right? People didn't really care. People tell me, "Oh, well, I don't care if someone, steals my phone." But, what if you do buy that car and now you do have it connected to the car and you don't really think twice about it, but you don't update the security to keep your phone locked? Well, right there, someone could easily take that and they got access to your car. With an Android system, you could have malware, you could have viruses on it, believe it or not. Um,
Mhm.
and depending on how that secure information is stored within the app that transmits that data to the car, you know, you you're left vulnerable to how well that's being secured on your phone. Um, so there's many thoughts to feel unsecure with having that information on the phone to be able to unlock your vehicle or to control it.
So based on what you and I have been discussing so far, just to give a shout out to us, our title today is not clickbaity at all. It is
No.
it is reality based. This is one of the few times that I will tell you that I shared um an email earlier today, and I said, make the thumbnail apocalyptic, fires everywhere, cars crashing, because I'm pretty sure that might be clickbaity enough to get attention. Um, but we went with you and your car are vulnerable. Everything
Yeah,
you have is at risk.
it is
And
true.
and it's true. It is
It is
it is
true.
100% true. So folks, I apologize if you think the title is clickbaity today. Let me just say this: that's on you. Okay, this is one of the times that we are 100% on the up and up with our title today. So enough about that. There was something else let's see if
I,
I can actually get sharing my screen correct
I
this
want
time.
to I want to bring up one thing, and
Okay, go right ahead.
I just saw Justice and someone else mentioned that a phone really is more secure than a key fob. Yes, it is, but
Yeah.
I will go back to the general population who does not lock their phones. Like I've I've come across too many of them who, even on an Apple device, where Apple, when you first set up your phone, you got to go through a lot of steps to bypass either using a fingerprint or
Hmm.
uh,
Facial
using
recognition.
face ID,
Yeah.
um, and people will bypass that stuff and not even put in a passcode. If you don't have any of that, folks, that's not secure. Your key fob's going to be more secure than that is. So I agree, but again, responsibility put back on the end user to secure your stuff.
Oh, absolutely. All of this falls, and I am as irresponsible as anyone when it comes to this, because I like certain passwords. I use them
Hmm.
over and over again. Okay. Because I'm a human being. There's only so much I can remember. There's only so many passwords that I can remember for, I don't know, the 893 different applications that require a friggin' password. Okay. And how are you supposed to remember them all? So,
Yep.
like probably a lot of people, I use several passwords multiple times on multiple apps.
Yep.
I believe that's human nature.
Yep.
Um, so, yes, ultimately, it all falls on us. But part of what falls on us is to say, yeah, these are wonderful gizmos, but it shouldn't be here or it shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the way I get into my car and start my car.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
There's, and you know how I feel about full self driving for cars. Um,
Yes.
you know, like there shouldn't be that either. But that's just me. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm going to share my screen again. Hopefully, I get it right this time. I'm supposed to hit share here. I think. No, I'm supposed to hit that, then hit share here, and then go to this article.
Mm.
Consumer Reports campaigns for free crash notification feature in all new vehicles. More than 20,000 consumers signed the organization's safety petition in the first 3 days that they had it up. So basically, what this is there, as we know, there's like OnStar, and I know in my
Hmm.
Mini I have some type of service that if I have an accident, I push a button,
Yep.
or I don't have to push. I don't know. Um,
Yep.
but there's this petition that with technology today, that we have the ability that if somebody has an accident, and they are incapacitated and can't call for help, that the vehicle would automatically do that on their behalf.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so having just bashed technology and the digitalization of automobiles, I thought to myself, well, how do I really feel about this? And how this, if we mandate it, how this helps to make cars even less affordable moving forward, because, well, this has a
Well,
cost to it.
right.
So
Right.
when you read it, what did you think?
So I'm 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 conflicted with it, I guess. So
Okay.
number one, just as you mentioned, there obviously is a cost, and I'm gonna go with GM, right? So
Yes.
there is a cost to have that monthly subscription for
Yes.
this through OnStar. So if they did decide to go this route and have every car have this turned on and activated, there's going to be a cost. It's going to be baked into the cost of the car, right? So
Absolutely, it has to be.
that's gonna go up a little bit. Now, the other side of this is privacy and your ability to say, no, I don't want to have this service tracking my vehicle because you're connected to a network constantly, right? So if
Mhm.
you're someone who is more concerned about privacy, you don't want to be tracked, you don't need other entities knowing where you are, where your vehicle is, and more of a privacy related issue. The Without having an option to opt out is a concern to me,
So it sounds to
and could
me,
be a
Phil,
concern to some other people.
yeah, it sounds to me, Phil, like you're suggesting if you're a bank robber, um, and you're robbing a bank, you don't want a car that can track you to that bank at the moment it was
You don't
robbed.
want that. but then
Okay.
but then there's another school of thought too here is like, well, your phone is in your car and you're
Yes,
getting tracked anyway.
yes.
So, it's just adding another piece of technology that is uh, reporting where you are at any given time.
When I first read it, and I'm nothing if not honest. When I first read it, my initial reaction was, "Oh my God, another thing that we should mandate that be in a car that just raises the cost of the car for the consumer ultimately." Um,
Hmm.
but I also thought, after that initial thought, how do you put a price on safety? And what is the price that you're willing to put on safety and something that might actually save people's lives?
Hmm.
Now, because I saw the digital key thing, and that I'm just like so against because of all the vulnerabilities. But the concept of having a way, it's almost like I've fallen and I can't get up, and I just push my alert button on. Hopefully I still have the ability to push the the alert button. Not that I have that, but that's basically what it is for your car. Okay,
Yeah.
your car's fallen, it can't get up. You've had an accident.
Yep.
You need some assistance. When I framed it in my mind in that manner, I thought to myself, there is probably some societal savings to this, some good that comes out of this, as opposed to some of the technologies that we have developed over the course of time that, to me, like, and I'll say it right up front, like TikTok, for instance, that serve no real societal purposes. Have
Yeah.
the but being able to save people's lives, to come to their rescue if they have an accident or something like that. Um, so, and then I was thinking, well, we're CarEdge. We're a consumer advocacy organization.
Hmm.
Um, and this is, like, similar to the FCC proposals for how dealers are allowed to do certain things. This is an advocacy issue that, we're talking about lives here. Um,
Yeah.
so setting aside my disdain for some forms of technology, I finally came to the conclusion that I think it might be in the best interest of society for those who drive cars if something like this was mandated, much like when
Yep.
the government mandated backup cameras.
Yeah.
Every
Yep.
manufacturer has them now. They're not in the cars because of the wonderfulness of the manufacturers. Okay, they're in
Hmm.
the cars because the government said, "Damn it, they have to be in the cars."
Yeah. Yep.
So,
I I do I 100% agree with you. I like the idea of this being implemented. I just want some thought around into what it's gonna how it's gonna be built, or and how they actually utilize the actual system. So, if it's something where the system really isn't on all the time,
mhm,
but if and when an accident does happen,
then it
it
clicks on
triggers
somehow.
something,
Yes.
then it turns on and makes the contact to OnStar to get emergency vehicles. So, in I mean, if there's a way for them to do that, that's great. I mean, I'm for this as a technology. Just there just needs to be some thought around into it.
Well, typically we think about it after the fact.
We
Um,
do.
uh, and we don't think of the unintended consequences that come with it
Yeah,
until after the fact. So,
yeah,
but
you're right.
I found that very, very interesting, especially when I juxtaposed it to my digital key thing and how we're all at risk and the vulnerabilities of that.
Hmm.
So it I found myself in a conundrum and somewhat conflicted at first. Um, so I guess what I'm saying is I can be pro technology if it has a real societal benefit,
Yeah. Hmm.
and maybe against some of the technologies that, at least in my opinion, do not. Um,
Agreed.
Now, I'm going to share the screen one more time because there is a success story that you
Oh
brought to
yeah.
my attention
Oh
that
yeah.
that I want to share with everybody so that you can share it with folks. I'll just pull it up, um, and I think I have success here in pulling this up. Uh,
You did. You
yes,
did.
I'll read it briefly. This
Yeah.
is from David Orzechowicz, who recently bought a Stinger GT2, and
Hmm.
um, David, you helped. I'll let you
We all
explain
help them. We
it. Yeah.
all help them, right? Everyone on the coach team helped him out. Um, but yeah, I mean, he was looking at a, Stinger GT2. Uh, these vehicles. I don't know if we want to look back into the last year, it's like dealerships were marking these things up. They
Hmm.
were hard to come by. And then David found this one. We helped analyze the market. We helped analyze the deal. The dealership had this on the lot for a long time. Which, by the way, again, I always go back to our doing your research,
Hmm.
going back to CarEdge to find out how long a car has been sitting on the lot for. What is the market day supply? How many of these are actually sitting out there? Um, all this is valuable information to be able to go back to the dealership to get the best deal possible. Um, well, we were able to respond back to the dealer and go for an aggressive ask, uh, and he got it. He got 9% below MSRP off of a Stinger. So he did it. He utilized our assistance and knowledge, and went in educated, and he solidified a great deal.
And he utilized the tools that we offer,
Hmm.
some email templates that we have, some updated templates that you've come up with. Um, all in all, it proves that not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, if you put in the time, effort, and energy, um, oftentimes you can still find a deal.
Hmm.
And that doesn't apply to all vehicles, and it doesn't apply to all regions of the country.
Right.
But it applies to enough deals that we are able to help hundreds of people every month.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
so it's hard work. It's knowing the market. It's doing your research. It's utilizing the tools that are available to you and the assistance of the car coaches.
Hmm.
Kudos to you and your team there behind the scenes, that helps all these people. I mean, it's 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 wonderful to see when we see something like that.
It's the CIA team, Ray.
Yes, and you as the director of the C, and I don't
That's
believe,
right.
and I don't believe your Senate confirmed yet, but we're working on it.
No, I'm
Uh,
not. I'm working on
yeah,
it.
this from Fix It Again, Tony. Thank you, Tony, for the nice donation. I bought a Subaru's Starlink plan for its safety system as my kids will drive my new Outback. Thanks, CarEdge Coach Jerry. Well, there's another
Awesome.
success story. Um,
Absolutely love it.
yes, absolutely. not to sound self-serving, but damn it, the reason for the show is to help people out there and, well, to help promote CarEdge. And there are a lot of good things that our organization does and will continue to do, and is continuing to use one of my son's favorite terms, is continuing to iterate so that we can better serve consumers out there. So,
Yes.
folks, please just keep putting up with what you might perceive to be our clickbaity titles, and just click on the damn things. You'll be better off for doing it. Uh, Phil, we have crushed a half hour, my friend.
Yes, sir,
And
we have.
and believe it or not, I have another show to do in less than 15 minutes.
You do.
CarEdge Electric Unplugged with my dear friend Justice. So I want to thank you for being here today, filling in for Zach.
Thanks for having me.
Who will be back here tomorrow. And thank you, everybody. We'll be back here at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, 8 a.m. in Anchorage, 6 a.m. in Honolulu. And for all our fans in Manila, it will be midnight madness in Manila, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
we'll
my.
see you back here tomorrow. Thanks again, Phil.
Bye, everybody.
Yep. Bye.